President Trump today continuing his cross-country tour, trying to sell the tax cut or tax reform plan. Mr. Trump's latest remarks aimed at the trucking industry in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Our framers will unlock the American dream for millions of our fellow citizens by eliminating tax breaks and special interest loopholes that primarily benefit the wealthy. Our framework ensures that the benefits of tax reform go to the middle class, not to the highest earners. It's a middle-class bill. That's what we're thinking of. That's what I want.
And joining us tonight, the newest addition to the Fox family, Laura Ingraham. She'll be hosting the Ingraham Angle. It'll air weekdays at 10 p.m. Eastern on the Fox News channel and debuts October 30th. Laura is also the author of a newly released book entitled Billionaire at the Barricades, The Populist Revolution from Reagan to Trump. Laura, great to have you with us.
Good to see you, Lou.
And congratulations on the show and the book. And to my knowledge, the first to connect billionaires and populism in one title. And it is a remarkable story, the Trump saga. It's hard to believe that it hasn't even been a year of his administration with all that has happened, all that he is being challenged by from every quarter. This is just incredible. As you stood there at the convention making that terrific speech, did you anticipate this much accomplishment, this much, if you will, energy directed against him?
Yeah, the pushback I did. I mean, the reason I used barricade in the title, Lou, is because he has the Democrats, of course, against him. He has a lot of the Republicans, as we saw with that nice comment from Bob Corker to the New York Times about World War III. We have a lot of the Republican establishment who are anti-populist. They don't really trust the people. You have the media that they're 24/7 trying to get him out of office. And, of course, you have groups like the Chamber of Commerce and Hollywood and all of that combined working against the populist conservative agenda that he ran on. But a billionaire can have a strong connection to the heart and soul of the American people. We saw Ross Perot. Remember in 1992, he took on 1992 took on George H.W. Bush and racked up, 20-plus percentage points in the presidential contest. So this is a long story of populist appeals in politics, but Trump really put it all together in a campaign that was sometimes brash and sometimes kind of like a wrecking ball. But the American people wanted, at times, a bully to bully the bullies because they felt like they've been kicked to the curb for too long.
What they got is a warrior, and he is a man who absolutely revels in the fight and means to win every damn one of them. And so far, he's got one heck of an average unlike anything I've seen in my entire career. And it's interesting, the national left-wing nut media just can't bring themselves to acknowledge what he's done. Today, he mentioned in the speech in Harrisburg, talking about all assets in this country rising since the election on November 8th, and he's exactly right. You're talking about 25% increases in market indexes. We're talking about record highs for all of them. We're looking at 16-year highs in confidence. We're looking at just a remarkable performance in this economy.
Yeah, but he holds up a mirror, Lou, to the hypocrisy of the left, of the double standards, even in the sports arena with the NFL. And also he calls out the Republicans for failing to do what they've campaigned on for 7 years, which, of course, is Obamacare repeal. And it's very uncomfortable. I mean, we all have flaws. I mean, not you, Lou, but most of us have flaws.
I just assumed you would exempt me from such a generalization.
You're always exempt, Lou. You're always exempt. But it is hard to kind of look in the mirror. We all have to do that on occasion. And like, oh, I didn't handle that quite right, or, oh, I could do better. But it seems like the Republicans and the Democrats, the establishment wing of both parties especially, they cannot seem to change their policies. Trump won on the policies. He didn't win because he's a celebrity or because of Comey or even because Hillary was a bad candidate. He won on the issues. And that's what my book documents, on immigration, on less military intervention, on taxes, on all these things.
This gives me a chance. I want to point this out. Billionaire at the Barricades, Laura Ingraham. I just wanted to make that point, if I may, Laura, on your behalf.
Thank you.
the idea that the Republicans are become, two of them in particular, have become his nemesis, and they are Paul Ryan, a speaker who is not recalcitrant. He is unrelentingly oppositional. He's become somewhat more refined in his tactics. And Mitch McConnell, who is becoming increasingly brutal in his obstructionism. What do you make of them, and how desperate is the nation to replace them?
I have to say, for Paul Ryan, at least he was able to get Obamacare through the House. And he's giving a big speech tomorrow pushing the president's tax agenda. So he's working with the president on taxes. I don't agree with Paul Ryan on everything, but he was fed up with the Senate during the Obamacare push. Mitch McConnell is another story altogether. He never liked Trump. He never was a fan of Trump. He didn't expect him to win. He would much rather have had someone like a Jeb Bush in office. And he's always kind of looked down on the tweeting. And it's like Trump is like a neophyte in politics, and Mitch McConnell is the expert. Well, I'll say this: the experts could not get the job done on the seminal piece of legislation.
They're not experts at anything. Neither one of them has ever done a thing in either the Senate or the House.
It's time to retire for McConnell.
Utterly creations of their own fictional.
Hey, Lou, I have a question for you. Can I ask you a question? Do you think if today Donald Trump ran against Mitch McConnell in a GOP primary, or Bob Corker in Tennessee, if he took on both of those guys in their own states, who watching this tonight doesn't think that Donald Trump would beat both of them like by double digits handily?
Yeah, you could throw in the entire GOP leadership of both the House and the Senate, add up their collective IQs, and President Trump would still win.
Yeah,
that's how I see the fight.